Pittsburgh Steelers fans, get ready, because we've got some serious football talk today. I know, it's the off-season and technically I'm on vacation. But when a blockbuster trade like this one goes down, you don't just sit on the beach and pretend it didn't happen. The Steelers made moves. And we need to break them down, because these aren't just any moves. These are game-changing, season-defining, title-contending kinds of moves. We're diving into how Jalen Ramsey and Jonnu Smith are going to reshape the DNA of this team on both sides of the ball, and why 2025 might just be the year Pittsburgh pushes all the way back into serious championship conversations. Let's start with the headline. Jalen Ramsey is a Pittsburgh Steeler. That's not just a big name. That's a major shift in the identity of this defense. Ramsey isn't coming to town as a traditional outside corner. No, the Steelers have a bigger plan, a more strategic approach, and honestly, it's kind of genius. What they're envisioning for Ramsey is not just a role. It's a weaponization of one of the smartest, toughest, and most versatile defenders in the NFL. Now, we know Ramsey spent most of his career as a dominant outside corner with the Los Angeles Rams and more recently the Miami Dolphins. He earned his stripes locking down elite receivers, but what sets him apart and what drew Pittsburgh to him is how he thrived when shifted into that star role. We're talking about lining up inside the slot, functioning almost like a hybrid defender, and creating havoc in ways most corners just aren't built for. That's where Mike Tomlin and his staff are going to unleash him. The plan: use Ramsey predominantly in the slot in nickel packages, which, let's be real, in today's NFL is basically your base defense. Last season, Pittsburgh ran nickel over 80% of the time. So if you're picturing Ramsey just popping in on special downs, think again. This guy is going to be the central chess piece in Tomlin's defensive strategy, and the way they're going to use him, it's going to be nasty for opposing offenses. Ramsey isn't just a coverage guy in the slot, he's a heat-seeking missile. Go back and watch the film from his time in Los Angeles, especially when he lined up in that inside role. You'll see a guy who reads plays before they even develop, and when he comes on the blitz, it's like sending a tank through a picket fence. The man is 6'1", over 100 pounds, with arms like pythons and an explosive first step. He's not just disruptive, he's destructive, and if you're a longtime Steelers fan, this is going to feel familiar. Think back to the Mike Hilton days from around 2017 to 2020. That guy brought fire from the nickel spot. He was compact, aggressive, and relentless. Tomlin and company knew how to weaponize him, sending him off the edge on blitzes, crashing run plays, and basically functioning as an honorary linebacker in certain sets. Ramsey is like Hilton on steroids. He's bigger, stronger, longer, and just as smart. Imagine that skill set injected into a defense that already boasts T.J. Watt, Alex Highsmith, and Cam Hayward. You start to see the picture forming, right? The Steelers' defense, before injuries hit last year, was already giving up fewer than 19 points per game. That was with Minkah Fitzpatrick, who over the last 2 seasons hadn't quite been the turnover-generating force we saw in his earlier days. Ramsey brings something different, not just coverage ability, but a physical presence and versatility that allows Pittsburgh to get more creative, more unpredictable, and way more aggressive. And here's the twist: Ramsey won't just live in the slot. When the Steelers shift into base personnel, which is less frequent but still a factor, Ramsey is expected to slide into a strong safety role. That's right, the guy can be your nickel corner and your box safety, depending on the look. That kind of positional fluidity is incredibly rare, and it gives this coaching staff the freedom to disguise coverages, create exotic blitz packages, and mess with quarterbacks' pre-snap reads in ways that most teams just can't replicate. When you pair Ramsey in the slot with Joey Porter Jr. and Darius Slay holding down the outside, and then throw in Deshaun Elliott as the likely free safety and base, you get a secondary that's physical, experienced, and downright nasty. But when they go back into their bread and butter nickel formation, look for Juan Thornhill to be the starting free safety. Now, I know Thornhill's tape from the past couple of seasons in Cleveland wasn't exactly glowing, but context matters. The man battled through multiple calf injuries and still gutted it out. He's a former starter on a Super Bowl-winning Kansas City Chiefs defense. When healthy, he's more than capable, and honestly, if Thornhill ends up being your weakest link in the secondary, that's a pretty solid situation to be in. He's fast enough, smart enough, and plays with the kind of toughness that fits this city. With Ramsey, Slay, Porter, and Elliott doing the heavy lifting, Thornhill won't be asked to carry too much. Just do his job, keep things in front of him, and don't let the ball go over the top. With this pass rush, he'll have more help than most free safeties could dream of. There's also been some chatter about Ramsey maybe playing full-time safety, especially if Thornhill struggles or gets injured again. That's not the current plan, but it's a card Tomlin could play. Ramsey has already expressed openness to that role, and in a pinch, if they want to bring someone like Beanie Bishop Jr. into the slot, it could happen, but for now, the vision is clear. Ramsey is going to wreak havoc from the inside, both in coverage and as a blitzer. And let me tell you, that's going to be a nightmare for quarterbacks. Think about what it's like to line up against Pittsburgh now. You've got TJ Watt and Alex Highsmith screaming off the edge, Cam Hayward anchoring the interior. And now you've got Jalen Ramsey creeping around the formation. Is he covering the slot? Is he blitzing off the edge? Is he dropping back into a robber zone? Offenses are going to have to account for him on every single snap, and that mental stress, that pre-snap uncertainty, leads to mistakes. Pittsburgh is banking on that dot, but that's just one side of the coin. Because as good as this defense looks with Ramsey in the fold, the offense also got a serious upgrade in this trade, and we need to talk about Jonnu Smith. Most people see the tight end label and immediately think traditional inline blocker or red zone threat, but Jonnu Smith, he's something else. He's not a tight end in the old school sense. He's a hybrid, a weapon, a big slot receiver in a tight end's body. And Arthur Smith knows exactly how to use him. Jonnu isn't going to be lining up next to the tackle and taking on defensive ends all day. That's not his game. His role in this offense is going to be about mismatches, yards after the catch, and creating chaos for opposing linebackers and safeties. He was top 5 last year in missed tackles forced among all pass catchers. That's right, not just tight ends, but all of them. When he gets the ball in his hands, he turns into a freight train, and that's exactly what Aaron Rodgers needs. In this scheme, what makes Jonnu Smith such a critical piece for this Steelers offense is how perfectly he fits the kind of system Arthur Smith and Aaron Rodgers are building. This isn't going to be an air it out vertical offense where your tight end just chips a rusher and runs a slow corner route. This is going to be a rhythm-based, play-action-heavy, mismatch hunting attack, and Jonnu is the kind of chess piece who thrives in that kind of structure. Expect to see him lining up in the slot a lot, running quick outs, screens, drag routes, and all the stuff that gets him the ball in space with room to turn upfield. And when he does, defenses are going to have a hard time bringing him down. At 248 pounds, Jonnu is a nightmare for defensive backs. You put a nickel corner on him and he's too big, too strong, too physical. You try to counter with a linebacker and he's too fast, too agile, and too polished in his route running. It's pick your poison, and Arthur Smith knows exactly how to create those poison pills for defensive coordinators. Remember, this is a coach who's worked with Jonnu before and understands how to exploit the exact traits that make him dangerous. Last season, Jonnu had over 800 snaps from the slot. That's more than any other alignment he played. So while technically he carries the tight end designation, functionally he's going to operate more like a wide receiver. And honestly, in this offense, that's by design. The Steelers are leaning hard into their physical identity. They want to run the ball, yes, but more importantly, they want to bully opposing defenses with size and scheme. Putting Jonnu in the slot forces defenses to respond with heavier personnel, which opens up the field for faster guys like DK Metcalf to do damage downfield or across the middle. But before we dive in, don't forget to subscribe to Steelers Nation Central and hit the like button on this video. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on the Pittsburgh Steelers. And don't forget to share your thoughts on the news in the comments below. In a move that's already stirring the rumor mills across the NFL, the Pittsburgh Steelers appear to be closing in on a surprising deal with the Chicago Bears that could reshape their offensive dynamics next season, according to sources close to the situation. The Steelers are poised to bring veteran wide receiver Keenan Allen into their fold, a player renowned for his reliable hands and impressive reception records. The whispers first began circulating after the Steelers' front office reportedly engaged in serious talks with the Bears, aiming to bolster their receiving corps with a proven playmaker. Allen, who has long been a standout in the league for his consistent ability to rack up catches, fits the profile of the kind of leader Pittsburgh needs to ignite their offense. Although nothing has been officially confirmed, insiders suggest the Bears have been convinced to part ways with their season star, opening the door for a potential blockbuster signing. Keenan Allen's career achievements speak volumes. Known for his precision route running and exceptional football IQ, Allen has amassed record-breaking reception numbers that place him among the most dependable wide receivers in NFL history. For the Steelers, a franchise with a rich tradition and a desire to reclaim offensive prominence, adding a player of Allen's caliber could be a game-changer. Speculation is rife that his presence could not only boost the team's passing game, but also mentor younger receivers hungry to learn from one of the best. The Bears, on their end, appear ready to embrace a fresh direction, possibly eyeing younger talent to rebuild their receiving lineup. Letting go of a veteran like Allen, while tough, might align with their broader strategy to develop future stars. Meanwhile, Pittsburgh's gamble could pay dividends if Allen's experience translates into on-field chemistry with quarterback Kenny Pickett, who is eager to prove himself as a franchise cornerstone. NFL analysts and fans alike are buzzing with questions. How will Allen adapt to the Steelers' system? Can he sustain his high-level production in a new environment? Will this acquisition be the spark Pittsburgh needs to climb back into playoff contention? While the official announcement remains pending, the mere possibility of Keenan Allen donning the Steelers' black and gold jersey has injected fresh excitement into the offseason narrative. In an era where veteran leadership can tip the scales, the Steelers' rumored pursuit of Allen underscores their commitment to crafting a competitive and balanced defense. If these talks culminate in a deal, Pittsburgh could be set to surprise the league with a revitalized attack spearheaded by one of the most reliable receivers the game has seen in recent years. Until then, the NFL community will be watching closely, eager to see if this tantalizing rumor becomes reality. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to keep receiving exclusive news about the Pittsburgh Steelers, make sure to subscribe to Steelers Nation Central and give this video a like. We always look forward to hearing your comments and opinions. See you in the next video.